Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're exploring just one source. It's pretty unusual.
Yeah.
A recovered broadcast simply titled, Do Not Trust the Year.
And this isn't, your standard historical find. This source, it basically challenges your whole perception of time, of reality itself.
Hmm.
And it focuses specifically on right now, the year you think is 2025. It makes some, pretty unsettling claims about where you are.
Okay, unsettling, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's dive in then. Our mission here is to unpack what this thing is actually saying.
Right.
What does this broadcast claim is happening to you, the listener?
Well, the central idea it's pushing is surprisingly stark. It basically says you were meant to stay in 2019.
2019.
Yeah. According to this, the years haven't really passed like you think. Instead of, moving forward normally, you were, and this is its term, pulled out.
Pulled out.
It calls 2019 your last correct placement in time.
Okay, so if this source is right, you're not where you should be. How does it even try to back that up? Does it give, evidence?
It does, sort of. It lists experiences it thinks you've probably noticed. It calls proof you're in the wrong time.
Like what kind of experiences?
Things like phone apps suddenly changing their names, or, celebrities acting in ways that just feel fundamentally wrong to you, almost unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Music sounding off, somehow out of place. And maybe the weirdest one, other people completely forgetting memories that you remember crystal clear.
Oh.
It basically says these inconsistencies happen because you're not in sync with this reality you're in now.
Right, out of sync. But listing symptoms is one thing. Does it explain why? Is there some, internal logic to this?
It tries to, yeah. And the explanation is quite vivid, a bit bizarre maybe. It calls right now a broken year.
A broken year.
Yeah. It claims this 2025 isn't a real progression. It's a replica stitched together from dying timelines.
Oh, okay.
And those little inconsistencies you might notice, it ties them to something deeper, more physical. The source actually claims, chillingly, that you are starting to rot.
Starting to rot.
Yes. Experiencing physical decay. It suggests things you might just brush off, like feeling tired, or maybe too much screen time bothering your eyes. It says that's actually the decay, starting because you weren't, quote, built to survive here.
Wow. Okay, starting to rot.
Hmm.
Does it give any more detail on what that actually means from its perspective?
It connects it right back to how it says time collapsed. The source claims that back in 2020, timelines fundamentally broke down.
Right.
And while bits were saved, and most people were apparently reassigned to a new, stable timeline, you weren't.
I wasn't.
According to this broadcast, you were archived.
Archived, like put in storage, not reassigned.
Exactly. That seems to be the idea. You weren't properly, let's say, integrated or rebuilt like the reassigned people were supposed to be.
And that's why you feel out of sync and have these physical symptoms.
Right.
Because you're archived in a reality you weren't built for.
That's pretty much the narrative, yes. And it even links this to sleep. It claims that every night, your mind tries to go back to 2019. That's why dreams might feel right or familiar. And waking up feels like being actively dragged back into this perceived 2025.
That is a really disturbing way to think about just waking up.
Yeah.
Okay, so given this whole scenario, does it offer any, advice? Warnings?
It gives several, and they're quite specific. One is about calendars.
Calendars.
If you happen to see a calendar that still says 2019, the source says follow it. But be extremely careful.
Careful how?
It adds this warning, some doorways are set as traps, and some clocks run backward for a reason.
Traps. Okay, clocks running backward. That's, unsettling. What about dealing with other people?
That's maybe the most intense warning. It says if you hear someone claim that 2025 is the best year ever, the instruction is blunt, just run.
Run? Why?
Because, according to the broadcast, those people remember who you were and they want your spot.
They want your spot.
And then it just ends with that core command again. Do not trust the year. It does not trust you.
Okay, so we've unpacked this one very strange source. Do not trust the year. Its whole story is that you were pulled out of 2019, you're stuck in a broken year, some kind of replica reality.
Right, causing decay and this temporal displacement feeling.
And it gives these odd warnings about 2019 calendars, about traps, and especially about avoiding people who seem too happy about 2025.
Because they supposedly remember you and want your place in this timeline.
Wild narrative, definitely.
Yeah.
But the source leaves you with this thought. If your experience of 2025 feels even subtly off, could it possibly be, like this broadcast claims, that you are simply not meant to be here? Something this source wants you to consider.